Hello, I'm Lyn Jarvis, contributing editor for Across the Fence, and welcome to Brazil. We're starting here in the city of Rio de Janeiro. It's a place of contrast with tall mountain peaks and beautiful beaches like Copacabana and Ipanema that stretch 12 miles along the coast. They're known as the sexiest beaches in the world because of all the beautiful people that come here. Including my traveling companions Johanna Gingras from Montreal and Marco Ayala, the video editor for our show today. Enjoy along with us.
Tall and tan and young and handsome, the boy from Ipanema goes walking, and when he passes, each girl he passes goes, ah. When he walks like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle, that when he passes, each girl he passes goes, ah.
Oh, les garçons la regardent et leurs idées qui bavardent ont des regards qui s'attardent sur le corps de la fille aux yeux clairs, mais elle ne voit que la mer.
And what better way to end our afternoon? Some juice from a fresh-picked coconut, one of the major crops grown here in Brazil. The juice is refreshing, fat-free, with many health benefits. Down here it's called nature's energy drink, and we're going to need a lot of that for our upcoming adventures. We'll begin with a 20-minute tram ride to the top of Corcovado Mountain to visit one of the new 7 wonders of the world. It's Christ the Redeemer standing 124 feet tall with his outstretched arms at 92 feet. An awesome sight with the clouds rolling in. Taking 5 years to construct, with stone imported from Sweden, the statue was inaugurated on October 12, 1931. It has become the symbol of Rio and the warmth of the Brazilian people, who with open arms welcome visitors from around the world. From the top of Mount Corcovado, we'll descend to city center to visit the spectacular Metropolitan Cathedral that opened back in 1979 and is dedicated to Saint Sebastian, the patron saint of Rio. Inside are 4 stained glass windows that soar 210 feet from floor to ceiling, splashing colors of the rainbow throughout this place of worship that can accommodate up to 20,000 people. Brazil has one of the largest populations of Catholics in the world, and while we were there, some teens were celebrating Mass and having their photo taken with one of the sisters at the cathedral. Nearby is the Sambadrome, home of the famous Rio Carnival, and at the visitor center, a widescreen TV showed highlights of last year's parade. It is considered the largest of its kind, attracting millions of visitors from around the world. The carnival is organized by the 70-some samba schools in Rio. They are not teaching institutions as the name suggests, but the epicenter of carnival itself. They are associations or social clubs representing a particular neighborhood that work year-round to plan the spectacle that begins just before the beginning of Lent. The parades are held on 4 consecutive nights, during which schools parade one after another from 8 p.m. until daylight. Spectators are encouraged to bring blankets and liquid refreshment. Each school, with its hundreds of dancers, musicians, and floats, has 90 minutes to parade from one end of the Sambadrome to the other, about a half mile. Schools are judged by a jury and the competition is ferocious. On Ash Wednesday, the 5 winners are announced and the Parade of Champions is held 3 days later, with the performers and spectators singing and dancing the night away. When we were there, it was quiet, but we could just imagine what the place was like filled with some 90,000 spectators cheering on their schools. But surprise, surprise, there was going to be a parade with some of our traveling companions. And down the Sambadrome they came to our cheers and cameras clicking. Since there were no other competitors, they got the blue ribbon. We had some inclement weather while here and hoped we would get a clear day to visit Sugarloaf Mountain, but that didn't happen. The ride to the summit, some 1,300 feet above the city, requires 2 cable car rides, each lasting about 3 minutes. The first stop is Orca Hill, and even this cloudy view of Guanabara Bay is impressive, extending some 80 miles from its beginnings in the Atlantic Ocean. If you are a James Bond fan, I'm sure you remember this scene from the 1979 movie Moonraker. And here for all to see is the cable car used in that memorable scene, played by actors Roger Moore, Lois Chiles, and Richard Kyle. Now it was on to the top of Sugarloaf. Doesn't it look like we're ascending into another world, perhaps never to be seen again? And this is what we encountered stepping off the cable car. The only good thing I can say is that we found an ice cream stand and there are no lines. As we descended, the clouds lifted for a moment and we got our last look at Sugarloaf, wet and dreary, but still looking quite majestic. One can't visit Rio without visiting one of the many night markets. Join us and see if there's something you would like. I hope you have enjoyed visiting Rio de Janeiro as much as we have. It's been a lot of fun. It's a city of contrast where the poor live next to the privileged and they're all very proud of where they live. We're at the airport now waiting for our flight to get a closer look at the majestic Iguazu Falls that spans the border of Brazil and Argentina, and we're told we'll get breathtaking views from both countries. Now, how neat is that? You might have seen photos and read about it, but until you are here, you have no idea of what to expect until you come face to face with the mighty Iguazu Falls and all of its powerful beauty. They are the result of volcanic eruptions that left a large crack in the earth, and to this day play a significant part in the geographical structure of the South American continent. Spanning almost 2 miles, it is made up of 275 separate waterfalls as far as the eye can see. Some massive and powerful, some small and dainty. They are a shock to the system. Their size and scale are unlike any other on Earth, and they became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1984, and in 2011 voted one of the new 7 wonders of nature. It's located in one of the few inland rainforests in South America, the Atlantic rainforest, which has been carefully preserved. Unlike many falls that are surrounded by developments such as hotels and casinos, Iguazu is pure nature. While you don't get as close to the falls here on the Brazilian side, they do offer incredible panoramic views that help deepen an appreciation for their grandeur. We just got off the bus and we're on the Argentinian side of the falls now, and we're about to board a train to the top of the falls, and I'm told it takes about 15 minutes. And we were curious to see how it differs from the Brazilian side. One thing I can tell you, it's about 100 degrees here That's 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's going to be a warm day. Kota Mondays jumped off the tracks as we pulled into the station. Generally shy and retiring, those that live here are always on the lookout for a handout, perhaps some tasty crackers dropped by a tourist. Typically, they are omnivorous and primarily eat fruit, other small animals, and bird eggs, using their long snouts to poke through crevices to find any scrap of food to satisfy their voracious appetites. While overhead, the small capuchin monkey summoned up all his courage to make this giant leap from one tree to another. Perhaps he was trying to escape from a tree full of very active honeybees on such a hot day, or trying to catch this blue morpho moth found only in South America that was enjoying the midday sun. But as it turns out, he was on his way to steal this empanada from an unsuspecting tourist. Before we explore the Argentinian side of Iguazu Falls, I was curious about the Guarani, an indigenous people who have lived here for centuries. I asked our guide Lucas Areco for some information.
Well, all the waterfalls represent the energy of their ancestors. So the Iguazu Falls, especially in the area called Double Throat, is huge. So you could imagine how energetic is that place for them. They believe that Nyanderubutu, which is the greatest god they have, created this world perfect for them. It's a lot of trees, a lot of rainforest, a lot of animals, a lot of birds, a lot of rivers, a lot of fish on those rivers. So he made a paradise. And then he created the Ava, the men, the Guarani, to enjoy that world. So they don't need to die to go to the paradise. They born in the paradise. They are surviving as the whole rainforest in this area and around the world, they are in danger of extinction too, because they depend of the rainforest to live. They believe it's related with the rainforest. So if the rainforest is in danger of extinction, they are also endangered.
Thank you, Lucas. The falls are not only beautiful for the eyes, but the souls of the Guarani people. This is Devil's Throat that Lucas mentioned, the most powerful part of Iguazu Falls. Approximately half the river's flow descends here, 242 feet from top to bottom, with 14 smaller waterfalls that send mist and spray high into the air. To give you an idea of its power and grandeur, that accounts for some 61,000 tons of water every second. Thanks to boardwalks like these, one can get intimate with the falls and soaked in the process. It's possible to take a speedboat right under the falls for the world's largest open-air shower, but I opted out for fear of getting my video camera waterlogged. Not a good thing in this remote area. Here, legend says that an ancient shaman predicted the birth of a rainbow, but no one believed him. One night during the full moon, there was a flash of lightning, creating this rainbow that has been here ever since, a favorite photo op for tourists. What an amazing place to conclude our tour here at the spectacular Iguazu Falls, one of nature's most impressive achievements, and I'm pleased that I could share this unique experience with all of you. I wish you were here to feel this mist blowing in across the falls on our backs. For Across the Fence, I'm Lyn Jarvis, and thank you for watching.